Hi and welcome to this energizing basic yoga flow. My name is Elias and thank you for clicking by this video today. This will be a short flow where we work on opening up the major muscles of the body so that you can feel energized, whether or not you are just starting your day or if you want to end your day on a good note. We start by going up to all fours, spreading your knees to the long edge of the mat, big toes touch, and lowering your hips down to a child's pose. Let your forehead melt down to your mat. Actively spreading your fingers and pushing your hips back. Really feel that your inner thighs are opening up. Take a few deep breaths, whether that is through your nose, through your mouth, or an ujjayi breath, doesn't really matter. Just stay connected to your breath. You're welcome here to set an intention for this practice. Whether that is just showing up to the mat is totally fine. Coming over to all fours, to a tabletop pose. Your hands right under your shoulders, actively pushing your shoulder blades down and walking in a circular motion. Your fingers pointing back towards your knees and go back. So 180 degrees, really feel your wrists opening up, actively pushing down into your mat. Doesn't really matter if you can make it all the way back, it's just about feeling your wrists opening up. Many of us spend long days with a locked position in our wrists, so just take some time here to open up. Fingers point forward, put your toes in the mat, and lift your bum up to the ceiling to your first downward facing dog. Bend your knees if you feel like it and actively push the mat away from you. Feel that you open up through your spine and imagine that someone is grabbing a hold of your shorts and really lifting your bum up towards the ceiling. Maybe bend every other knee and feel that you're really opening up. Look to your thumbs and walk with small steps to the front of the mat. Grab a hold of your elbows, your head is heavy, and just swing from side to side. Try to lift all 10 toes, experiment with the weight in your feet, and notice how the sensation changes up. With a big bend in the knees, roll all the way up. Roll your shoulder blades back to a proud posture to your first mountain pose. We're going to do some sun salutations, really warm up the body. Start with inhaling. Your arms come up. And exhale, dive down. Hands come to your mat. As you inhale, flatten out your back, look slightly forward, and go back to your high plank on your exhale. Take an extra inhale, put your knees down. And as you exhale, lower all the way down. We're doing a modified sun salutation. Inhale to pull your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, put your feet down, exhale to your downward facing dog. Keep breathing here. Perhaps you want to swing your hips from side to side. Notice how the sides of your upper body are stretching out. And try to have your heels touch the mat. Look to the top of your mat. 2 big steps to the front. Inhale to straighten your back. And exhale, forehead to knees. As you inhale, come all the way up, arms overhead. And exhale, hands along your sides. Gonna do 2 more, so inhale, arms come up. And exhale, dive down. As you inhale, flattening out your spine, and exhale, walk down to your high plank and sink all the way down. On your knees or on your toes, doesn't matter. Inhale, cobra or to an upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Try to stay in touch with the breathing. Notice how your lungs are expanding, how your rib cage is opening up. And as you exhale, try to notice how your core is slightly engaged. Look forward, jump or take 2 big steps to the front of the mat. Inhale to flatten your spine, and exhale, melt down. As you inhale, come all the way up, and exhale to your mountain pose. Last sun salutation, building some heat. Inhale, arms come up, and exhale, dive down. Inhale to look forward, and exhale to lower all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Last few breaths in your downward facing dog. Do you remember actively using your fingers and pushing back? Can you feel your chest opening? Maybe you need to bend those knees a little bit. Just try to actively push your chest down towards your mat. Look forward, inhale. Jump all the way to the front. Flatten your back. And forehead to knees. As you inhale, coming all the way up. And exhale to your mountain pose. I'm gonna make it from here to our downward facing dog. You inhale, arms come up. And from here, exhale to your first forward fold, grabbing the back of your ankles. And pulling down towards your knees. Holding here for 5 breaths. Actively trying to lift your buttocks up and pulling your knee towards your forehead. Shifting the weight over to the toes. And notice how the back of your thighs are really stretching out. Place your hands down in your mat. Inhale to look forward. And exhale, just walk back to your downward facing dog. From here, inhale, swing your right leg up towards the ceiling. And now place your right foot in between your hands. You may lower your left knee. Bring your left arm up towards the ceiling and place your left elbow over your right knee. Hands meet in prayer in front of your chest. As you inhale, look up, and exhale, try to push your hands to your heart. If you feel like it's stretching out and lifting your back knee, try to really increase that rotation and keep looking up towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, look down and place your left hand down. Inhale, swing forward, lengthen your hips, and exhale, stretch out your right leg. Inhale to the front, and exhale, lengthen. Inhale, coming up, and exhale, lengthen. On your next inhale, lift both arms up. You're in a high lunge position. Twisting your left ankle down, opening your arms up to your warrior 2 position. Really pulling your shoulder blades down and trying to keep a deep bend in your front knee. From here, place your left hand down to your thigh. Inhale to stretch your right arm up to a peaceful warrior. And exhale, warrior 2. Dynamic movements with your breath. Do that one more time. As you inhale, stretch out your right knee. Let your hands come in your hips. And rotate your right foot to the long edge of the mat. Rolling your shoulder blades back, chest high, inhale. And now as you exhale, dive down into a deep forward fold. Your hands come in between your feet. Actively using your fingers to pull yourself down and try to lift your buttocks again up towards the ceiling. Feel the lengthening of the back of your legs and elbows pointing backwards. Stay active through the feet and really lift the inside of your feet. Now, as you inhale, come halfway up. Leave your left hand under your heart and rotate your right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, come down. Inhale, your left arm rotates up towards the ceiling. Try to follow your hand with your gaze. And hand come down on your exhale. Doing that 2 more times in sync with your breath. Now from here, walk to the front of your mat. Your right leg is in front. Bend your right knee. And from here, your right foot lifts backwards and places on top of your left, rotating up to a side plank. Really push your left hand down in your mat. Look up and really feel the core engaging, really firing up. Rotating down, your hand come in your mat and push back to your downward facing dog. So other side. Swinging your left leg up as you inhale and placing your left foot in between your hands. Lowering your right knee. Inhale to lift your right arm up. Placing your right elbow over your left knee. Hands meet in Namaste. And twist your gaze up as you exhale. Trying to lift your right knee and feel your hips really lengthening and opening up in that rotation. Now as you exhale, your gaze come down. Right hand in the mat. Inhale to swing your left arm up. And exhale, stretch your left leg. In sync with your breath. Now as you inhale, lifting both arms up, you're in a high lunge position. Rotate your right heel down and open up towards your warrior 2. From here we're going to change it a little bit up. From your warrior 2, your right hand comes to your right thigh. Inhale to your peaceful warrior, really lengthen your side. Exhaling to your warrior 2. Try to sink a little bit deeper in the hips, really open them up. Landing in your warrior 2. Inhale to stretch your left knee out. And rotate your left foot towards the long edge of the mat. Now, interlace your fingers behind your lower back. Inhale to roll your shoulder blades back. And exhale, dive forward. So we're in another variation of the wide-legged forward fold. Trying to stay heavy on the arms, let the knuckles really just fall forward. And feel like you're opening up your shoulders, but also the back of your thighs. Your hands come down in between your hands. Inhale to lift your gaze up. And now, opening your feet up slightly to the side, heels point inward. And bend your left knee to a deep side lunge. As you inhale, lift back up and exhale to the other side. Doesn't matter how far up or far down you go. It's all about just lengthening the inside of your thighs and staying in touch with your breath. Doing what feels okay for you today. Now as you exhale, landing over your left knee, rotating to the front of the mat. And now from here, placing your left foot on the top of the right foot, rotating back to your side plank, gaze up towards the ceiling, engaging your core, pushing your right foot, your right hand down, rotate down, your left hand comes to the mat, to your downward facing dog. And we're going from here to your seated positions, placing your feet behind your wrists, and sit down on your butt. Gonna do the both pose, really engage the core. So lowering my upper body down, bending knees and lifting my feet up. And really lifting my chest up. And placing my feet down. So I place my left foot on the inside of my right thigh. As I inhale, I lift up and rotate slightly towards my right foot, and exhale, dive down. Gonna here focus on stretching out the hamstring, pulling your shoulder blades back, and try to lengthen your heart towards your foot. You might want to bend your knee a little bit, but try to pull your right leg back into your hip. Placing your hands beside your knee and rolling up as you inhale. And now I'm going to place my left hand behind my left hip. And as I inhale, I swing up to modified wild thing, to backward bend. Stretching out my right arm, pushing down in my left hand and opening up along my side. And sitting back down. Stretching my left foot forward. We're going again into boat pose. So lowering your upper body back and lifting again your feet. Try to stretch out the knees this time if you're alright with it. Pushing your chest up. We're going to hold here for 5 more breaths. Activate your core. Look upwards. Bend your knees if you need to. You've got 3, 2, and 1. Your feet calm down. Right foot on the inside of your left thigh. Inhale to lift up. Rotate towards your left. And exhale to your forward fold. Head to knee pose. You might notice that your left side is slightly more stiff than the other. It's totally fine, then you just have another reason to come back to this video at a later point. Pulling forward. Placing your hands along your knees. Rolling up as you inhale. Placing your right hand behind your hip. And swing up to modified wild thing. Last back bend, last active pose. Stretching out your side, try to breathe into your left lung. And swing your hips down. Stretching out your right foot. And roll all the way down to the mat. Gonna end up with a few twists. So, pulling your right knee up towards your chest and rolling your right knee down to your left side. If you're fine, you stretch your right arm out to your side at an angle or straight forward, doesn't really matter. Just notice how your spine is really opening up. If you feel something pop, it means that you're doing it right. Pulling your right knee up and stretch back down. Pulling your left knee up towards your chest and rotating down to your right side. Stretching your left arm out if you feel good. Try to settle in with your breath. Notice how you've built some heat for the last 15 minutes. Pulling again your left knee up to your chest. Stretch out. Lengthen your spine. Your back is heavy towards the mat. Your arms come out to your side, opening up the palms to the top of or to the ceiling. Let your ankles fall down. And just take a minute or two to just relax. Contact with your breath. And finish at a low note. You're welcome to stay here, or if you want to, you can end your practice right now. Thank you for joining me for this short practice. Hope to see you again, and namaste.